Good afternoon, dear students, especially the students of HSC second year who are going to appear in the examination very soon. Today, I have come to advise you on some topics, especially my topic for today is voice. Okay. Now, you have voice in your examination, and when you do voice, you actually not only do voice, when you deal with voice, you actually deal with so many other things that are the part of English grammar. Now, voice actually involves three things: subject, verb, and object. Okay. So remember, when you are doing voice, actually you are doing with three things or three words in a sentence that are subject, verb, and object. Your sentence may be long. Your sentence may have 10 to 15 words or more than 10 to 15 words. But remember that while doing voice, you are only doing with the subject, verb, and object of that particular sentence. And if you understand this, then the complication you feel while doing voice will be very, I don't think you will feel any complication doing voice. Now, you see from your childhood, from probably class 8, you have been doing voice, and you know in voice you have to rearrange the word patterns in a sentence. Like in voice, what you have to do, your object becomes subject, then you have to put the passive verb, then you have to use a preposition, and then your subject becomes object. Now you see, this is the common formula of doing voice. This is the common rearrangement of words while you are going to passive from active. Now, as I said, this is the common formula. But the point is that the thing you have to consider, you have to concentrate, is that this is the formula. Actually, most of the students, while they do voice, they actually go for this formula, they try to remember this, but remembering these rearrangement of words, or what you call rule or formula, will not work. Why? Because if this rearranging of words simply meant voice, then you would have question like, we eat rice, or they play football, etc., etc. But you very well know that you are not going to have questions like this: we eat rice, they play football. Why? Simply because this formula which you just run after, or which you are very afraid of, is not something that is voice. Okay, this is the simple, silly, rearrangement of words that you should remember, like anything, that you remember the names of your friends and family, you remember the foods you like. This way you should, in a common sense, you should remember this pattern or rearrangement of words. But then what means voice actually? Where is the complication lies? Where is the difficulty lies? The difficulty lies in the relationship between subject and verb, and the relationship between the verb and object. So as I said in the very beginning, that voice means the relations of words that make subject, verb, and object. So what happens when in intermediate level, you see, these are called the level of difficulty. Okay. Now the first level of difficulty that you have to rearrange words. When you are making passive, then you have to rearrange the words like this one. This is the difficulty level 1, and you, as you do, you play games in your mobile, on your mobile. You see in every game there is level 1, level 2, level 3. Okay, so each level involves, each level brings in new type of complication or difficulty, and this also happens in grammar as well. So this is the first level of difficulty, and this level of difficulty should be given to the students of class 5, 6 or 7 or 8. Now at intermediate level, it is expected that you already know, or you already have overcome or passed through this first level of difficulty. Now you have to face second or third level of difficulty. What is this? That is the identification of subject and the identification of object. If you can just identify what the subject of the sentence is or what the object of the sentence is, then after identifying the subject and object and verb, you just follow these formulas and your voice is done. But in intermediate level, the difficulty will be created on your identification of the subject and especially the object. So while doing voice, actually we are not doing voice. So in intermediate level, when we are doing voice, actually we are doing parts of speech, very simply. And not only for voice, if you do article, if you do preposition, if you do rearrangement or whatever, actually the basic, or actually it just examines your knowledge about parts of speech. For example, I give you an example. He painted a picture for me. So this is an active sentence. Again, I write another sentence. He painted a picture of me. Okay, these two sentences look similar, sound similar, only with the difference that you have a preposition for in the first sentence and you have a preposition of in the second sentence. Now this one word can make a whole lot of difference in these two sentences. So what happens if you are following my lecture? I know many of the students already have done the voice in their mind, and many of them just have grabbed me on the neck and brought it in the place of subject. And if you think me is your object, then you lose the game. Okay, so you see, very simple sentence but very difficult if you just fail to identify the subject, verb and object. Why? Because when you are doing voice and I say object, then it simply means the object of the verb. Basically object means the object of the verb, but there can be other words which can also be termed as object, like me. Some grammarian may say me is a complement to for. Some grammarians may say me is an object of for or preposition. So object can be used in different ways. But when we are doing voice, then, and basically object simply means object of the verb. A object means it is the object of the verb. So in this particular sentence, our verb is painted and its object is a picture. Okay, so when I do voice, I have to bring the object of the verb, then I have to put the passive verb, then I have to put a preposition, then I have to change the subject into object. So if I now fail to fail to find out the object of the verb and I mistake it for me, then your voice will not be correct. Now, in the second sentence, you see, now in the first sentence, a picture and for me, the two can produce separate meanings, individual separate meanings. But in the second sentence, when the preposition is of, then a picture can independently produce meaning, but of me cannot produce an independent meaning. Then you have to take the whole lot of the words, a picture of me, okay, as a phrase and as your object for the verb. So identification of object is really difficult, because in the first sentence, a picture is the object of painted, whereas simply because of the change of the preposition, in the second sentence, a picture is not alone the object. The object of this particular sentence is the entire phrase, noun phrase, a picture of me. So in the first sentence, if you want to make it passive, what you have to do? You have to write like a picture was painted. Now the extension, it is usually called extension. You can put the extension wherever you like, where it shoots or sounds good. You may put it, usually it is put after the verb, or you may put it after the sentence. Okay, so a picture was painted for me by him, or a picture was painted by him for me. You can do either way. In the second sentence, you have to bring a picture of me. You cannot say a picture was painted of me. Okay, that will not sound correct. A picture of me was painted by him. So what finally we come to know? Finally, what we come to know is that while doing voice, more than the rearrangement of words or structure or rule, however you may call it or know it, that is not important. Important is your identification, especially of the object, because you have to start with the object, right? When you do voice, your first duty is to make the object your subject. So the first thing in the sentence is that you have to look for the correct object, the object of the verb with which you will start doing your voice, and that requires a lot more practice. That requires a good knowledge about the relations of words in a given sentence, and that requires a good knowledge about parts of speech, which is very important. And it is less important that you know the structure or you go after the structures, because these are very simple things. You can remember very easily if you are good enough in your understanding of parts of speech. So your pattern or your structure will not help you do the voice. What help you to do the voice is your knowledge of parts of speech, especially your knowledge or your expertise of identification of the object in a sentence. I give you some examples. To make it more clear. Say a sentence like, none should take reference books or you may You see, these sentences are quite long. Okay, the sentences are not like we eat rice. They are considerably long, and you have been given the task of doing voice, and seeing long sentences, you may be confused. But that is the trick. That is what actually teachers play with you, the game the teachers play with you while voice is concerned. What? That you are given you will be given a very, not that much, but considerably long sentence, so that you get confused about the object, verb and subject, and you make a mess. So there you have to play smart, you have to be very smart. Just don't hesitate getting this type of sentences. What you have to do, very smartly, you have to look for the object first, because in voice you have to start with object. So in this sentence, none should take reference books out of the library. So your verb is take, very easy, and the object of the verb is reference books. Okay, and your voice is done, simply. Then in the second sentence, she found your keys on the, your verb is found. Okay, and for the verb found, you have object in the sentence is your keys. Identified, your voice is done. In the third sentence, they have increased the rate of taxation to 30%. Quite long sentence. And but you have just to find out the object, the verb and subject. And the else is called extension, and that has nothing to do with voice. Okay, when you do voice, you need three things, and the extension is extension. You have nothing to do with them. They have increased the rate of taxation to 30%. So your verb is have increased, and the object your verb is the rate of taxation. This is the object. So once the object is found, your voice is done. Let me do it. Reference books. Now the active of should take is should be taken. The sentence is negative, so I should use should not. And this is the extension. In the second sentence, your keys. Active of found is were found by her, and the extension on the top of the almirah. And in the third sentence, your object is the rate of taxation. And be careful when you change the object into subject, the number, the person may change. So here the subject is plural, they, but when you bring object as your subject, the rate of taxation, it becomes singular. So the passive of have increased has been increased. To 30%, you can put it here. Okay. Now when subject like none or they are used, we usually don't put the subject into an objective form. We usually close the sentence after the verb and the complement. So the answer of the first sentence is reference books should not be taken out of the library. You can buy anyone, you should not write that. Your keys were found by her on the top of the almirah, and they usually not used as object. The rate of taxation has been increased to 30%. You can use by them, but it is not necessary. So this way you have to do voice. One thing, this is the voice of assertive sentence. Actually, this is the voice of regular assertive sentences. But voice can be done with interrogative sentences, voice can be done with imperative sentences, and like that. But what I can advise, it is the tradition. So far I have observed the questions of intermediate of last 10 years or last 5 years. In the intermediate level, they actually don't experiment with other sentences like interrogative sentences or imperative sentences. In intermediate level, this is the convention. So not rule, but this I have seen that they usually set questions from assertive sentences. Okay, in intermediate level, you actually will have sentences from assertive pattern. That is the tradition they have followed, not the rule. They may give you a sentence from imperative or a sentence from interrogative, but so far the tradition goes on. There are chances, lot more chances. So you have chances that in more than 90% cases, you are going to have assertive sentences. Okay, why? Because as I am saying from the very beginning, because the level of difficulty or difficulty level in intermediate level or intermediate question paper is that actually the teachers want to know whether you can identify the object or not. This is the core difficulty issues that intermediate questions involve. So in intermediate, so far this has been the tradition that actually while doing voice, they actually look for your expertise of identifying object, verb and subject. So usually they put questions from assertive sentences. Okay, there are sometimes questions from interrogative sentences, and you may have questions where you have to change passive into active, but again that deal with assertive sentences. Okay, not interrogative or imperative sentences. So my first and last advice, so far you are dealing with voice, those who are reading in intermediate, my advice is that when you take voice as your question or when you are dealing with voice changes, just try to understand the relationship between the subject, verb and object, and develop your skill, your expertise in identifying the particular object of the given sentence. The more you become successful of identifying the object, the more you close to solve the problem of voice. Don't run after the structure. Better you concentrate on parts of speech, and again while doing voice, just indicate the object, find out the object, and the moment you find out the object, your voice is done. So this is for today. Thank you very much. Stay home and stay safe. Thank you.